Well, welcome back to the studio. I'm going to have to figure out a new intro thing to say, how I say that. But anyway, welcome back. I am working on a new painting today. This is one of my little doorway garden entry pieces and just a lot of fun to do. I'm got it drawn in. I drew it up with a thin oil wash of my mud, which is 2 parts alizarin crimson. Wait a minute, cut that. That is not good. It's 2 parts ultramarine blue and 1 part alizarin crimson plus liquid. And I just make a nice thin wash of that, and that's what I use to draw up my basic plan. Now I'm going to start working on the Adobe wall. And I showed you, first of all, the entire painting sketched up there, and then I showed you my color mixtures. Now all of this Adobe color is made of the same paint colors. It's just different combinations in various proportions. So these are mixtures of my mud plus cadmium orange plus a little bit of ultramarine blue, plus I've added a little bit of cadmium yellow medium just to give it a little yellower tone. Now this mixture that I'm using here now is ultramarine blue plus white plus a little bit of my Adobe mix. And I'm putting the blue where the 2 walls come together. Here. You have one wall that's coming toward us and then this wall that's flatter. And at the back part of that wall coming toward us, I put the blue in there to make it go back, to visually make it recede. Blues go back, warm colors come forward. So as the wall goes back, it becomes cooler. As we move forward, then I use some of my warmer mixtures. And here I'm even going to use a little bit of a lighter mixture so that this wall comes forward even more. This comes behind my chair. The chair is going to be yellow, so I bring a little bit of this mix that has a little more purple in it, just kind of down at the base of that. Now flowers are in there, petunias. I'm not going to worry about working around the back of the chair right now. And then it's darker up under where the overhang of the tile is. And I'm taking a little bit of my mud plus liquid mixture and just painting into this up here. And that just gives me a little more shadow. It's easy to work in there. This is called a bright brush. If you've watched my videos before, you've seen this. It's got a square end. And I can use then the corner to get up here into the make smaller details. I use these, I love these brushes, and I can use that corner then to make flowers, and just as a very versatile brush for me. Artists are different. Some like filberts, some like rounds, but it's all a matter of personal preference. These are what I like. I just work around my sketch of the chair. I'm going to bring a little bit of that blue in here. Again, that just makes that go back. Now I'll save these colors so then I can go back and work around my chair and whatever I need to do. So we've got that wall done. Now I'm going to come back. I've used that little brush. I'm going to come back with my bigger brush and just kind of take out those little bitty brush strokes. Give it a bigger texture. And bring a little more of this lighter color in here. Those Adobe walls are not smooth, so I like to give it a little texture. little light right there. Okay. In fact, I'm going to take a little blue and just put right there. Now, this wall back here is going to be a little darker. And I have morning glories are going to be draping down. Purple morning glories. And the sun is coming in from the upper right. So the morning glories are going to cast shadows on this wall. I'm adding a little bit of blue in that, but then I'm going to paint back over. Cool it just a little bit, but not as cool as the other side. And I'll actually warm this up here. But you can go back and paint over, and that what that does is painting those colors over each other. It really gives you a richness within your color, within your flat areas. You don't want it to just be all one tone, one value, one hue, I guess is the right word. Now, I'm painting a little bit of my Adobe color up above the lintel because my morning glories will be coming down over that. So I just want to have some places for that Adobe to show through. Now my lintel is a mixture of my mud plus ultramarine blue plus cadmium orange plus white. Makes a little different brown. And I may have to go back and darken it a little bit. That's all. It's just working back and forth. In fact, I'm definitely going to have to darken it. It needs to be darker than my Adobe color. So that's easy to do. I just take a little of that mixture, add some of my mud into it. And that makes it darker. And I want like the grain of the wood, those old lintel beams, they get cracks and everything in them, so they're really a lot of character to them. So that does that. Just working wet into wet. Now I'll come back. The underneath of the side wall of I guess this is called the jamb of this wall, is darker where it goes back, but then on the back edge of it, I make it a little bluer, so it goes back. Then as it comes forward, I make it darker. And take my lighter mixture. Start making my Adobe wall here. I'm going to mix a little more white into that because the front part of the wall facing us is catching more sunlight. And even though this part's catching a little bit of the sun here, this part's going to be lighter. So I want to make this lighter. Now I've got those streaks in there from the shadows. I take a clean brush and just drag over that, and that softens my shadows. There we go. Now this side, this part of the jamb is going to be darker, even though it's in light, it's darker. And the petunias here, our light is coming in from the upper right. Fix this here. Light's coming in from the upper right, so the petunias cast a shadow on this part of the wall. on that part of the door jamb. So that's a little bit dark. And the shadow will actually come onto this part of the jamb. So this is going to be darker. And then I want to warm this up just a tad there. A little bit darker. And now I take my dark mix. This mix has more mud in it. Others have more white in them. Now we also get shadows coming down here. And I'm going to let shadows come all the way down. Let's say this vine's coming down off there's something off the canvas to the right that's casting a shadow all the way down, because these are going to be white flowers. And I'll let the sunlight tip the tops of those. But I want that dark behind them so that you'll see those white flowers. They'll really pop. And then I just bring, again, my light color here. I have a little light coming across the tile. I think I'm going to have a little sun face on that tile, but that will be determined later. Now I'll just put my shadows into the paint, and I want all my shadows to be at the same angle, since the light source is at one point. This light source is the sun, so there are all the lights coming off from the same direction. And the sad shadows, I'm going to bring some coolness into those. On the top where this wall, that lintel rests on it, that's usually a little bit lighter. It's not quite that light. But I can just bring some of my dark in here. There we go. I really appreciate you watching my YouTube videos. And please visit my blog. I'll show the complete step-by-step process of this painting. And the link is in the description below. It's also, the address is on the final frame of my video. And please subscribe both to my blog and my YouTube videos. You'll receive an email every time I make a post. And just thank you so much for watching. And today, as you're out and about or just with your family, be kind. It doesn't cost you a thing, and it really helps other people. So just be kind to somebody today. So you have a wonderful, wonderful day, and thank you again.